There is no denying that what we are going through right now with coronavirus and quarantine and our entire life shutting down is absolutely a challenge. I think it's been a really huge learning and growing experience for most of us. It's been a complete and total change to our entire way of life. But there's something we haven't really talked very much about, and that is that this is also an incredibly beautiful, unique gift that almost nobody ever in history, or at least in our lifetime, had. And that's the opportunity to look at our lives through an entirely new lens. When the way things always were fall away, suddenly you're able to see the things that you most value in your life and the things that maybe you were valuing for all the wrong reasons. You discover new values, new things to appreciate, and new ways of being that may actually be really, really, really great. At some point, hopefully sooner rather than later, things are going to go back to normal. But that doesn't mean we have to immediately go back to exactly the way they used to be. One prayer that I have for all of us is that each of us is able to use this time in our own quarantine or whatever is going on in our own lives. If you're an essential worker, if you're a healthcare worker, whatever your unique version of this experience is, to discover what parts of our life we do have serving us prior to quarantine, what parts weren't serving us prior to quarantine, and to come out of this quarantine and create an even better like life holistically than we started with when we went in. And I know sometimes that can be really hard as we're in the midst of the chaos, but I guarantee you, if you take some time to really look at your life, there are things that are absolutely amazing that are going to be just beautiful to bring forward into your life after this experience is over. But to do that, we're each going to have to bring consciousness and awareness to what we're learning personally from this entire experience. The good news is that doing that, and it's not painful, it actually could be really therapeutic, really joyful, and a really fun quarantine activity. So what I decided to do was create an activity that actually came to me in meditation this afternoon that will help you create a vision for your own life after quarantine. And this is something you can do by yourself. This is something that could be done individually, or it could be done as a couple or as an entire family if you want to adopt it. So what you're going to need is piece of poster board. You could also use a notebook if you prefer, but I did mine with poster board. You're gonna need some markers, lots of colors and markers, and you're gonna need some pens. You could also, if you wanna make this more of a visual thing, like a vision board, you can use magazines that you cut up or print out some stuff, pictures from your computer, and a glue stick, so you would want those. This, and you're gonna write in the middle, my life after quarantine, and then create subheadings with categories that you're wanting to include in your vision. Some examples, I'll show you guys mine in a minute, but some examples that you may want to include, and you really just want to use what works for your own life, so you don't have to duplicate what I'm telling you. But some examples that you may personally want to use are new lifestyle habits from quarantine that you want to keep, old lifestyle habits from before quarantine that you're ready to let go of, new lifestyle habits you want to adopt, spiritual or religious practices that you've adopted during all of this that you want to continue, or just realize you want to do. So like maybe you didn't go to church prior to this, but you've realized you would really appreciate that. Maybe you didn't go to yoga before this, but you realized you'd really want to go to yoga. These could be lots of different things. Things I have realized I don't want to spend money on anymore because I don't need to, because I totally realized I don't need them anymore. Or things you have realized are actually worth investing in and spending money on. Things you'll remember to be grateful for. Lessons you will remember you learned during this experience. Things I'm most excited to do again or for the first time. Places I'm most excited to go again or for the first time. Ideas I will bring forward in my professional work, ideas I will release from my professional work, things my family will do. This could be things you started in quarantine or things you missed as a family. People I'll make sure to spend more quality time with, relationships I've realized I'm ready to let go of. Maybe not having people around has been really beneficial to you and you've realized it's time to set some relationships free. Or there may be so many other categories that are perfect for you or your family. I just wanted to give you guys an idea. So now let me show you guys what I did. I'm not gonna read you every detail, don't worry, and mine is a work in and just in pen, I've written in each of the categories, leaving some space for things that I add and learn as this goes that I want to include, so I can keep making this a work in progress. But I've got things on here like for new lifestyle like habits that I want to keep. I've got creative cooking, trying new recipes and ideas, and grinding my own coffee beans every morning. Gosh, it is so good. I did it because I didn't want somebody breathing in my coffee, and now I'm like sold. FaceTime and Zoom catch-ups with friends that I can't see in person, and doing more video chats instead of phone calls because it's so much nicer. Yoga in my living room when I can't go to the studio, journaling. So it's just one of the categories, and then I left some blank space because as this goes, I know I'm gonna wanna add more and more and more. You could do it in a notebook instead of on poster board. You may have a lot of stuff to put in this and it wouldn't fit on a poster board, or you may have like a ton of categories you want to do. So a notebook is a great option if you have a lot of categories. To utilize that method, I recommend if you do like an index page at the beginning and then number each of the pages, and on the top of each page you write a category, and then go and put in the index page like new lifestyle habits I will keep from is on page 3, and then new lifestyle habits I want to adopt is on page 5, and then you can go through and easily keep adding to it and referencing back to it after quarantine. And then there are a lot of people who I think may want to do this either as a couple or as a family. I would highly recommend that if you do that, each person do it privately first. You could do it together, but like have your own piece of paper and go, okay, like let's look at this category we've decided, and like on your own paper, write it down. And then, so if you have your whole family do it, one person could read out like, this is the category, and then everybody spend a few minutes writing their own. And then once you've done it, you all come together as a group and put it on the poster board together on the things that you guys all value. And it could then become either a couple vision for after quarantine, or it could become a family vision for after quarantine, but something that you guys have come up with individually and then brought together ideas and your vision. But with that, I hope this adds some value to you guys kind of starting to plan for life after quarantine and bringing some of the beautiful, really amazing parts of this entire experience that are really easy for us to forget, or we are talking about, but just like kind of are going to be here and gone after, onto paper, so that after quarantine you can look back at it and remember the things that you're going to bring forward and make some beautiful, lasting, positive changes in